you guys doing? Justin Cobb here from Mobilizations in Orlando, Florida. This is my partner, Brantley Hawkins. We're going to take you through knee rehabilitation. So you'll be using this program after you have an ACL repair, meniscus repair, meniscectomy. You know, granted, all those protocols are a little different, but this protocol should be used for just about all of those. So the first exercise we're going to do are ankle pumps. Now this is to keep us from developing DVTs. So we're just trying to get this kind of calf muscle elongating, contracting. And as you see here, we're just pumping our ankle, going into dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. We'll go about 30 pumps, 3 times, 3 sets of this. And we're going to do these 2 to 3 times a day. Very easy exercise, but effective. From here, what we're going to do, we're going to go into our quad sets. Now, what a quad set is trying to get this quad contracting. You can probably look down at your knee right now and see that you have a big swollen knee, and this muscle is not firing the way that it normally does. We want to get that back. So we want to get that brain-body connection working again. So I'm going to have Brantley push his knee down into the table. Now, he has a pretty straight knee because he's not injured, but if your knee is like in a flexion contracture or it's not moving, you could just roll up, you know, an ace wrap or a towel, something, and we'll just, you know, you can slide it underneath that knee to just give yourself a little feedback of something to push down into. But as you're pushing down, we're really contracting that quad. We're going to hold that contraction from anywhere 5 to 10 seconds. I want you doing about 20 reps of these, and I'm going to say 4 to 5 times a day. But in reality, if you're sitting down watching TV, if you're sitting at your desk doing homework, if you're just relaxing, squeeze that muscle as much as possible. The more times you practice this, the quicker that brain-body connection comes back. So these are your quad sets. From there, we're going to go right into something called heel slides. Pretty simple. Our heel will be sliding. You see Brantley here did this actively, but what we're going to do, we're going to use something to allow us to do it passively. So this should allow us to get a better stretch, allow our muscles to relax, and all we're going to do is use this belt to start pulling our knee back. With the swelling that's in your knee and because of surgery, that might not be the most comfortable thing. So I want you bringing this right up to that point to where you feel a good pull, but you're not killing yourself. We'll hold it for about 20 seconds. We're going to let that leg out to relax, let things calm down a little bit, and then we're going to jump right back into it. 20-second hold. Breathing. Again, we don't need to set any records. We're just trying to bring that knee to, you know, a good stretching point. As always, use your doctor's recommendations. If he has you at a flexion limit where you're only gonna, you know, only allowed to flex to 90, we're only bringing this to 90. If you're only allowed to go to 60, we're only gonna bring it to 60 degrees. If you have no limits, of course, bring it to tolerance or set a record.
Touching butt today.
Touching butt.
Touching butt.
First day. So after these exercises, we're going to jump right into patella mobilizations. The patella is your kneecap. And now this is very important to allow your leg to move, allow it to extend, allow it to flex. As we extend, the quads pull up and the kneecap moves superiorly. As we bend the knee, the kneecap goes down or inferiorly. But we want to make sure that we have movement laterally, medially, superiorly, and inferiorly. So what I like to do here is we're going to place our fingers at the bottom of the kneecap. Now be careful here. If you had a you know, a patella repair, you know, this might be a little sore. Go to either side of that incision, and we're just moving the kneecap up as far as it will go, and then we're going to give it 30 over taps or a little bit of over pressure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 30. Then we can go laterally, 30 over pushes, inferiorly, 30 pushes, medially, 30 pushes. Now what you'll see is that kneecap seems to move better or more medially and laterally than superiorly and inferiorly. But we do want to make sure that we get good movement out of that patella to allow our knee to start moving properly and track correctly. So after we finish these patella mobs, we're going to go right into something called a straight leg raise. So we're going to combine 2 exercises. We're combining the first one we did, which is the quad set, along with the straight leg raise. So what I'll actually do, I'll have Brantley bring this other leg up here. And where you're going to be marking is probably trying to bring this leg just equal to this knee on the other side. So as we do our quad set and we're squeezing, we're lifting that leg straight up. Hold it for maybe about 2 seconds, good contraction, and then we're going to allow it to come down. We're going to do 10 reps of these, 2 sets. I want you hitting these 2 to 3 times a day, depending on how your body tolerates it and the reactions that you get. A couple things to look for in this. If you can't even get your leg off of the table, if you're post-op ACL, you'll see this, or total knee replacement. Sometimes this is difficult. You're just going to keep working your quadricep. We won't even do this until you can actually get that leg off of the table. The second thing we're going to be looking for is what's called an extension lag, meaning if we can't extend that knee all the way and you have this bend as you're trying to lift up, I want you working on your quad sets too. So just get that quad set a little stronger until you can lift that leg up and maintain that extension. So 2 things to look for as we're doing these straight leg raises. And again, I want 2 sets of 10, 2 to 3 times a day with this one. From here, we're going to go into our bridges. These bridges are to get our hamstring and our glutes firing and contracting a little bit. Take into account, you may not be able to bend your knee very far, or you may, again, it depends on who you are, but just line up your other leg or your other knee with the amount of flexion you can get from the repaired side. And all we're looking to do here is we're going to bring our belly button down into our spine to get our transverse abdominis contraction, and we're going to lift the hips off, trying to make a straight line from the back to the hips, squeezing the hamstrings, squeezing the glutes. Maybe hold this contraction for 2 to 3 seconds, slowly lower it down. Same thing with these. We'll go about 10 to 15 reps depending on your tolerance. 2 sets, 2 to 3 times a day. This is our bridging. Okay. Once we finish this bridging, we're going to go into weight shifting. The weight shifting is very important to, one, build your confidence in your limb, start bringing weight through the whole chain from the foot to the calves to the hamstrings to the glutes to the quads. But you see, all we're doing here is we're just rocking onto our repaired side, and then we're rocking off of it. So we're just bringing weight through, and we're trying to stack our weight down through that whole, that whole limb, and then we're taking our weight off of it. I like to do this holding onto a countertop or a table, just so you feel a little more secure, more confident. As you start feeling better, you can start weight shifting, not holding on to anything. Just bringing that weight over. Good. And make sure that we're not twisting or turning. We're just staying nice and straight here. Just kind of moving side to side in the frontal plane. Just getting our body used to accepting weight. The weight shifts, let's go about 20 shifts. So as we move over to the repair side, 1, and then we come out. Then we go back over, 2, we come out. We'll do 20 weight shifts, 2 sets, 2 to 3 times a day. After you finish these exercises, that knee may be talking to you, screaming a little bit, kind of sore, a little painful. Here's where I like to put a little ice on there. A little vasoconstriction. Ice lowers nerve conduction velocity. It feels good. But we're also going to combine that ice with our last exercise, which is going to be stretching into extension. So we already worked on the flexion or the bending of the knee. Now what we're going to do, we're going to work on getting the knee straight. This is the most important part of your rehab early on, because if we don't get that extension, what happens is sometimes that knee can get stuck, then the quad doesn't contract, we can't move properly. So what we're going to do, we're going to let this leg go straight, and we're going to let that knee just sink down to the table. So gravity's coming down through the knee and allowing this leg to get straight. You don't have to do anything. This is a passive exercise. You just get to sit back, relax, let that knee stretch. If you want, you can lay your ice bag on top. I want you to get about 30 minutes of this a day. So you can do 1 set of 30 minutes, 2 sets of 15, or 3 sets of 10 minutes at a time. Yep. You have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to write us on YouTube. Leave us a comment at nd_wellness. Again, always follow your doctor's recommendations. This is Justin and Brantley. We're here to support you every step of the way. Good luck.